Hey there, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. Today, I'm going to be showing you just how easy it is to install this Garmin Overlander Navigator. I'm going to walk you through it step by step and show you a couple different options for how you can install this unit in your vehicle. It's really awesome. It's got a super strong magnetic base that you can snap it in and out of that will also charge the device while you're on the trails. So I'm really excited about this thing, but I'm going to walk you through that thing step by step. Link in the description down below if you want to pick one up too. I got mine from aventuron.com. Awesome website, awesome alternative to some of the big box stores. So if you want one, definitely check it out down there. So let's get into how to install the Garmin Overlander Navigator. Alright, so let's start with what comes in the box. Obviously you are going to get this cable, which is one of these style that you've probably seen before. A lot of I feel like old school cameras and stuff came with this type of plug, so you may be able to find an alternative to this if you ever lost it. I'm sure that they sell a replacement too, but it does come with a pretty good size, pretty long cable that should reach from your plug up to your dash wherever you're going to install this thing. So you get that with it. You also get a couple of booklets, one that's important safety and product information, which of course is going to cover not being distracted while you're driving, etc., and then sort of a quick start manual, which actually, as you would expect from a Garmin, is really comprehensive and kind of tells you everything. One thing is that I did notice that this ball is different size on this than this, and there's a reason for that. This one is meant to fit the back of this install magnetic mount. So this thing is actually magnetic, and you can see there it's got this sort of charging power strip there. So that is going to allow you to snap this thing on and throw this device up there. And this little square panel on the back here is going to magnetically attach to that panel and then charge electrically from your DC plug to keep the device charged while you're driving, which is awesome. And I like that it's separate from my phone, so I don't have to drain as much battery because I'm using this device for my dedicated GPS versus my smartphone. But again, one thing that is different is that this thing on the back will fit on this ball, but not this ball. The reason for that is, if you notice these 4 screws here on the back of that, those actually remove this entire assembly, and then this is a 1-inch universal ball meant to replace that whole assembly for like a RAM mount or any of those sort of typical third-party options for mounting stuff. So if you're already running RAM mounts or anything like that, and you wanted to install this charging pad, magnetic pad for the Garmin on the back of it, you could just put this on the back instead of the ball adjuster thing here, and you could use that to mount it to like an existing third-party option. In my case, I don't have that. I don't have a RAM mount, so I'm going to be using this suction cup one, sticking it to my windshield up above my head unit up here, so it will go up there on the windshield right above the head unit, and then that's kind of my plan, is to sort of double up between my head unit and then the GPS right above it. Right up there is my phone mount, so I've got, my regular old head unit, I've got my GMRS radio down there, and then I've got my phone will go up here, and then over to the right, sort of hovering above this center console thing here, is where the GPS is going to go. So again, I just need to install this suction cup mount pretty easy by unscrewing this side pin here and then sticking it, getting it in the angle that I want, sticking this thing to the windshield, attaching this thing to that, and then plugging in the cord and snapping this bad boy on there. So it's really, really easy. As you can see, it's meant to be universal. It's meant to be super easy. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do, obviously, is clean your windshield. When you're doing a suction cup mount like this, it's really important to make sure your windshield is clean, because I feel like once you've kind of screwed it up once, it's just not going to work the same the second time around. It never sticks as well the second time as it would the first. So I'm just going to be a little proactive. I'm going to clean the whole windshield here with a glass cleaner. I'm going to clean my head unit while I'm at it. But just clean everything up in here and make sure that it is as clean as possible to allow the suction cup mount to stick. So once your windshield is nice and clean, of course you're going to want to remove the plastic wrap that kind of comes on it to keep it clean, right? And then again, you want to make sure that your ball is kind of where you need it to be before you get it mounted. You do unscrew this little knob off of the side, and then you can basically adjust it. It is a little tricky to adjust, so again, that's why I say I would probably just get it sort of set up the way that you want it and make sure that it is how you want it before you stick it up here. When you flip this little lever up here, it actually relieves the pressure on the suction cup, and then when you stick it to the window, then you can trigger this lever and it will suction cup really strongly to the windshield. I'm going to go ahead and put my little mounting bracket on here so that I can kind of see that I've got it aligned the way that I want it. So make sure that's nice and loose. Slide that thing on there. It does go on pretty hard, so you do have to like push it. You got to put a little bit of grunt behind it. Make sure that it's lined up the way that you want it to be approximately, and then just turn the knob clockwise on the back to tighten it up. So again, I'm going to kind of get this right where I want it. I'm going to stick it up there, get it good and suctioned, and then push on the lever. And boom, you can hear it kind of lock in. Again, this is a high quality unit. This isn't like, you know, a lot of those more like cheaper Chinese type versions of these things where it's going to fall off the windshield. That's my hope, is that this is going to hold on through the trails and stuff, but I will probably do an update video, you know, 6 to 12 months from now and let you guys know how this thing is done and how much I like it. I'm super excited about it. I've seen a bunch of people that use them. And again, I love having a dedicated GPS device that doesn't rely on my phone. So I don't have to worry about tapping all the battery power out of my phone to use the GPS. And I also like it just kind of makes it like a game. It's kind of fun to go out and try and map routes and put them on my Garmin and kind of build a library of dispersed camping spots and overlanding trails and stuff that I've been on or want to go on. You can also record your trips and all kinds of cool things like that. So again, there will be a more in-depth review of the Garmin itself coming in the future. So if you want to see that video, definitely click that subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop, because there will be a couple more videos coming on this device as I use it more. But once it's mounted up there on the windshield, all you have to do is basically plug in this DC plug and then plug this little plug into the side of the magnetic mount, and then it's powered. And then again, all you have to do next is snap your Garmin on. Once you snap it on, it's charging, it's up there, it's easy to use, it's easy to see. So then obviously how you sort of run and hide your cords, if you're into that kind of thing, is up to you. What I'm doing is, in the Nissan Frontier, there's actually a little plastic cover that just pulls straight up out of here. And then there's one screw right there that sort of holds this whole surround that goes around the stereo and around all the air conditioning controls. I just pulled that out a couple, half an inch maybe. And then I'm running the cord straight down behind here and then out to the bottom. And then I'm just going to run it behind the glove box there so that it can plug into the DC plug right there. I'm actually probably going to be installing like a multi-way switch with an on-off on it, because this is, in the Frontier, the bottom one is an always-on kind of plug. So if you don't want to run down your battery, you don't want to leave that plugged in all the time, again, I'm probably just going to put a little switch panel right here with multiple DC plugs that attaches to that has an on-off switch on it. Now again, obviously this is going to depend on your application. You could install this thing in any type of vehicle and could just do something similar, right? Just look for a way to sort of hide some cords and get them out of the way so they don't get caught or kicked or pulled, and it looks a little bit cleaner. But that is pretty much how that thing goes up there. Again, just suction it to the windshield after you clean it, plug in the power supply on the side, plug it into your DC plug down low or wherever yours is at, and then you're good to go. You can pick up your Garmin unit and you can just sort of slap it on there. Again, as you heard there, it is really, really strong magnetically, so this thing shouldn't go anywhere. This thing should just stay up there, even on trails and stuff. I've seen other people that have this driving around and off-roading it pretty aggressively, and this thing is going to stay. So again, super excited to test this thing out, but that is how you install it. All right, so that was the install of the Garmin Overlander Navigator. It's a long name, but this thing is really cool. Again, I picked mine up from Aventuron. I will put a link in the description down below if you want to go get one for yourself. They're really awesome. Aventuron is also located in Wisconsin, so again, versus those bigger box stores, more of like a local option. I'm in the Midwest, so I like that. And they'll price match. They have free shipping and all that good stuff too. You can even do payments and stuff if you want to on there for something, expensive like this. So tons and tons of cool options, but again, link in the description down below. If you're not already, make sure to click that subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a couple videos a week, so usually something about like newbie overlanding, general overlanding. I do a bunch of gear reviews like this, and I'm also a Nissan guy. So if you are a Nissan person and you're looking for a channel that is going to have a lot of Nissan content, this would be a good one for you. So again, if anything like that sounds interesting to you, click that subscribe button. Also in the description down below will be links to all the rest of my social channels. So wherever you want to hang out, I'd love to have you. There's also a Patreon group with a Discord. So again, if you're into that kind of stuff, if you want to chat with the group 24/7, we all are hanging out all the time. We even have a once a month kind of get together on Zoom where we'll all hang out, drink a beer, and just kind of talk about our rigs and stuff like that. So check that out. And then last but not least, Newbie Overlanders group on Facebook. Totally free to join. Link is in the description below. Tons of awesome people. Over 11,000 people last time I looked at it. And it's just growing every day. So we'd love to have you in there as well. But again, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that gives you some information on how easy it is to install this Garmin unit. If you have any questions, post up in the comments down below. If you have any feedback, anything like that, I'd love to hear from you. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.